Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's lesson is on how to understand the questions in the lower block cycles workbook from page 35. Okay, if you are ready, let's get started. Hi, I'm Mr. Long and I'm a science teacher today. Let's begin with question 1. Which of the following statements best describe the similarities between the nymph of a cockroach and that of a grasshopper? The nymph of a cockroach, if you were to remember, cockroaches lay eggs, it's an insect, and it will develop, and the egg hatches into a nymph, and the nymph will grow into an adult. The adult will, of course, mate and lay eggs. Grasshopper follows a similar life cycle. Grasshopper adult will lay eggs, eggs will hatch into a nymph, nymph will grow into an adult. Now, these are insects. So insects will have exoskeleton, or some of you may have learned a different term to describe it, which is they have a hard outer body covering. That means that as they grow, they have to shed the older skin, which is smaller, since their body is growing, in order for the new skin to emerge. So they ask us, what are the similarities between the nymphs of the cockroach and the grasshopper? Well, it's clear that then therefore they are both the young of the insects and they both have to molt as they grow. Now I'm sure you are very familiar with cockroaches and they have wings, alright? And you may not know this, but most grasshoppers also have wings. So this is also true. Therefore, for those who choose A and B only, then please learn that actually grasshoppers do have wings. And we'll look at, of course, the answer is A, B, and C. All three are true. Next, let's look at question 2. Which of the following change when a young plant grows in an adult plant? Now, so at primary 4, you will learn a very simple life cycle, alright, which is there's a seed, and under the right conditions, like you add in some water, you give it some oxygen, and of course there may be some warmth, enough warmth, it cannot be too cold. Right, when it has all these three conditions ready, it will actually grow into a young plant. Alright? And this young plant, as a young plant grows bigger, it will become an adult plant. Adult plant will have longer roots, thicker stems, more branches, more leaves. Alright? And of course, the adult plants will then reproduce in a certain way to give you seeds again. This is what you learn. Of course, at primary 5, you will learn that in between these two stages, there are more. Actually, from here, for plants like flowering plants, it will actually start to have flowers, which will then become fruits. Alright? And the fruits have seeds inside. That's why you have seeds. And this life cycle is actually of a flowering plant. So they ask you, which of the following will change when a young plant grows into an adult plant? So this is smaller when it was a young plant, and it is larger when it is an adult plant. So of course, very clearly, the mass will change. It has more mass when there are more leaves, more roots, bigger stem. The height will change. You can see it becomes taller. And of course, as it grows taller, the size of the stem will change. Just as the size of the body will become bigger as it grows larger, alright, the size will change. So once again, just like question 1, the answer here is A, B, and C. Answer is 4. Let's take a look at masses. So the concept being tested here clearly must be about matter. Alright, and you see that the masses of the objects A, B, C, and D are as follows. Object A has 100 grams, B is 50 grams, C is 80 grams, and D is 120 grams. And ask you which of the following diagrams is correct. Now this simple picture of a triangle and its lines represent a simple balance. And balance are used for comparing the different masses, whether one has a greater mass than the other or not, or they have the same mass. For example, in this case here, this will show that both B and C has the same mass. In this case here, it shows that B has a greater mass than A, so it tilts downwards. But how do you know if it's correct? A good practice is to transfer all these numbers into the diagram. For example, A here is 100 grams, D is 120 grams. So if 120 grams means it has more mass, by right this one should tilt downwards and this one would tilt upwards. Strangely, it is the wrong way, so therefore 1 is wrong. Let's take a look at number 2 now. B is of 50 grams, and if this is balanced out, then this must also be 50 grams. But unfortunately, it is not. It is at 80 grams. So this picture doesn't show the real situation if you actually do this experiment. So this is wrong. Next one, C and D. According to this, D should be of a greater mass than C. Let's see. D is of 120 grams, C is 80 grams. This one seems to make sense. More mass, therefore this should tilt downwards. When I say tilt, I mean this. Tilt downwards. This side is tilt upwards. So 3 is correct. But just to be very safe, let's check the last one. According to this diagram, B should be of a greater mass than A. Is that the case? B is of 50 grams, A is of 100 grams. This is obviously wrong. So of course, the answer is 3. Now let's take a look at some structured questions and how to answer them. Joe set up an experiment to study the life cycle of a beetle. So this part here tells you about the concept being tested. So you know, beetle is an insect, right? And this insect, if you were doing this lesson last year, you have experienced growing mealworms, alright? So the life cycle from eggs will hatch into the mealworms. The mealworms will then develop into a pupa stage, alright? And the pupa stage will actually stay motionless most of the time, until eventually it hatches into the adult beetle. Adult beetle will mate and lay eggs, and the cycle continues. Bread here represents definitely food. What you don't see here is air. And wire mesh should tell you that this actually has hole. If you were to turn this mesh around, it actually looks like this. Which means that air can actually go in and out of this mesh when it's placed over it. This mesh is just to prevent things from, like animals from getting in to eat the mealworms or the mealworms from escaping. Apple is juicy, right? So there'll be some water inside, of course, plus food from the apple as well. So the mealworms here actually get air, food, and water. Very, very healthy source of food and stuff for the mealworms to eat. Now that I've understood the picture, remember, children, we were reading the picture just now. I repeat now, we were reading the pictures, making sense of what the pictures actually mean. These words did not appear, okay? These words should only appear in your head. It didn't appear inside the picture, but it means the same thing. So learn to read pictures. So what did Joe provide the mealworms to keep them alive? So Joe provided air, food, and water. So these were the 3 things that he provided. What would mealworms become in the next stage of their life cycle? So they were already at the mealworm stage, which is the larva stage. This is the larva stage. This is the pupa stage. So the next stage will of course be pupa. I'm not sure why there are so many lines here. It seems to want to write a lot, but the answer is very simple. Alright, they will become pupa. Very simple answer. Next one. This question is about testing your idea of matter. The concept being tested here is about matter. Now, what evidence do I have to be very sure that the concept is about matter? I'm going to highlight all the evidences in yellow. So for example, the evidence here, I see terms like has mass, occupies space, definite volume, definite shape. All these words are words used to describe the characteristics of matter. As we know, matter occupies space and matter has mass. Alright, and terms like definite volume, definite shape help us to determine whether a matter is a solid, a liquid, or a gas. Now let's look at the 4 options given: music, milk, coin, and air. So clearly this is a gas, this is a solid, this is a liquid, and this is a non-matter. Music does not have a shape, nor does it occupy space, doesn't have mass. Now we just have to answer the question here. Does it have mass and occupy space? No would mean that A is a non-matter, and the only non-matter here is music. So this must be music. So this is how you read this flow chart to answer this question. Next one, does it have a, so if A here answers the question that does it have mass and occupy space, and it is no, this means that anything that is here are the non-matter and everything else must be matter. Now it's just which one is a solid, which one is a liquid, which one is a gas. Let's take a look at the next question. Does it have a definite volume? Definite volume. So we know that solids and liquids both have volume, they occupy space, but a fixed volume, right? What would have a fixed volume? Let's take a look here. So it says, I'm not sure which one it would be, but I know that gas would not have a definite volume. Remember the experiment where I did with the syringe? Alright, this experiment where you were doing in the science lab, you could actually compress the air that was inside the syringe. Therefore, air's volume can be changed. So the only thing here that is a gas is air. So does it have a fixed volume, a definite volume? No, that means this must be the gas, which is air. Does it have a definite shape? No, no definite shape. So this must be water or liquid, or in this case here it says milk. So remember water, if I pour water into a container, it can take this shape. I pour in a different container, it can take this shape. The shape can change depending on the kind of container I pour the liquid to. See, all different shapes, but the volume can still be the same, even if the shape changes. So finally, the only substance here that has a definite shape must be something that is a solid. And the only solid here is the coin. Okay, now let's go on to the next page. Sue wanted to investigate the growth of young plants using 3 different experimental setups, A, B, and C. Now notice that each setup here is a pair. The first setup here is of these 2 containers. Let's observe. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 young plants in each container. This has dry soil. This has moist soil. Moist means that it is wet. That means that it contains water. Remember, there's always air here. There's always air here. Black paper is used, whenever you see black paper in science question, it means that it's used to stop light from reaching these plants. Light is being stopped. Okay, next one. This pair here has moist soils. Again, it has water. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 young plants. Dry soil. Both are not covered. So some similarities. Both uncovered is similar. Same number of plants. And the only difference here, the only changed variable, means that is the only difference, is the absence or the presence of water. Or like some of you would like to say, the amount of water. Both of this way of describing the difference is fine. How about the top part here? How many differences do I see? I see that the plants here receive more light than the plants here. So the changed variable here, the changed variable includes the amount of light. I also see the amount of water is also different. And we know that when we conduct an investigation, there can only be one change variable. So this setup already seems to be a bit problematic. Something is wrong. The next setup C. Let's compare. Both have moist soil, similarity. Both have 5 young plants. This one has black paper to stop light from entering from the top. This one, light can enter. So in this case here, the only change variable is the amount of light. Let's see, which setup A, B or C should Sue use if she wants to find out if plants need water to grow. This is the aim of the experiment. To find out if plants need water to grow, we should have one setup with water, one setup with no water. Let's check. Which one has that? So this has the change amounts here, amount of water. But because there are two variables here, two change variables, so we're not going to choose setup A at all. Something is wrong with it. There can only be one, but here there are two change variables. Here, absence of amount of water is here. Here the amount of water is the same because both plants are planted in moist soil. If I use setup C, I cannot tell whether plants need water to grow or not because both soil has water. To do this question, of course, the only answer is setup B. Which setup should Sue use if she wants to find out if plants need sunlight to grow? So here the aim to find out if plants need sunlight to grow. So here the only change variable must be the amount of light. Let's check. The amount of light, this is present here. It's also present here, but as remember we talked about this, because there are two change variables, this setup is wrong, right? Something is wrong with it. So this is the only one that we can use, which is setup C. Alright, I hope that you have learned something today and you revised something if you already know all this. I wish you all the best. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.